it's Vera here. So I wanted to share with you guys my postpartum recovery, how he's been doing, because I thought this would be a helpful video for those mamas who are new moms, those who are going through the same thing as me. After I gave birth, I was able to go home right away from the hospital. I had no stitches, so I was very lucky that way. I actually got a shot of Pitocin, so it helps the placenta come out right away, and it actually helps with bleeding, so you bleed less. So it's very nice. A lot of women say they have to wear diapers or they have very heavy bleeding first couple days. I actually didn't have that. They did provide me this really big pad that covers all the way to the front and the back, so I did wear that just coming home from the hospital. I just bought like the longest overnight pads. The first week postpartum was really hard. I will be honest with you. It was harder than my first baby, and I think he's colic. I don't know, some people say colic is more worse, but he definitely has gas and colic issues. And typically with babies, after 24 hours, they get very hungry because your milk hasn't come yet. The first night we came home, he actually cried whole night, and then he finally fell asleep. And then the second night, like I said, they're hungry, your milk didn't come yet. I was feeding every hour. Honestly, I recorded all. I fed him 20 times in 24 hours. It was crazy. I just kept giving him my breast, and I know that in a way it is good because then my milk came and I was engorged. So it's good because your body knows you need milk. But the second thing, I was very sore. I had cracked. One nipple was cracked. I was very, very sore. And I actually put coconut oil on my nipples constantly, and that's what helped me. I didn't buy any nipple cream or anything. After the third day and by the evening, my milk finally came, and I actually gave him 1 teaspoon of formula just because I started getting worried. His lips were really dry. He was crying all day, and he didn't have a wet diaper for like 10 hours, and that's very important. So I gave him a teaspoon of formula, and then by the evening I had milk. So I was feeding him every hour. He was waking up every hour. It was a tough night. So yeah, by the third day I was completely exhausted. Thankfully I had family who were taking my older son every day just for a couple hours to have play dates or something like that, and then I would bring him home in the evening. So by the 4th, 5th day, he was still crying, and I was getting confused. What is going on? My milk came. Why is he still crying? Why is he still fussy? And then my sister said maybe he's colic, because typically babies shouldn't be crying so much. Honestly, with this baby, I felt like now I understand why people hire a night nanny, because I really needed one. I had no sleep. Yeah, you fussy baby. And with me, I was completely shocked how painful my cramps were. And I think it was tough because I was feeding him every hour. My uterus was shrinking really fast. Because I had midwives, they came like 3 times to my house, and they said that my uterus was like passed down my belly button. It was going down really good, contracting really good. And I remember by the 5th day, after feeding him, I had such a severe cramps that it honestly felt like labor. Like I thought I need to go hospital. Like that's how bad the cramps were. It was just everywhere. And they said, you know, take Advil or Tylenol every like 2 hours. And I wasn't. I kind of just like, I felt good. So by the time I take Advil, it takes an hour to work. So 1 hour, I remember I was sitting on the couch holding him because he was fussy, just had him in my chest and just going through the pain. So it was tough. And I'm so happy with social media that I can write to other mothers on Instagram, and so many mothers were saying yes, by like 2nd, 3rd kid, it is really painful. If you're expecting your 2nd or your 3rd kid, just to let you know, those cramps can be really bad. Yeah, that's something I didn't expect how painful it would be. So I also want to share with you just the past 6 weeks, how it's been, because he's officially 7 weeks, and I can't believe it. They always say, enjoy those little moments, enjoy the newborn stage because it goes by fast. And honestly, it really does go fast. And I think it goes by fast because you're kind of in a fog, especially if you have a fussy baby or you're hardly getting to sleep. You kind of just go day by day. And I honestly felt like some days I was in survival mode because I had such a lack of sleep. and I hardly could take care of my older son, take care of the house, take care of myself. I honestly was just all day with him, especially in the mornings. He's really fussy. I would be like from 4:30 in the morning till 12:30 at lunch. I was holding him non-stop. There was times. And honestly, I'm so thankful my son is 3 and he's independent. And we would just constantly be in front of the TV, and I would rock him, I would feed him, try to soothe him, give him massages. He had a lot of problems, had to pass gas. So he was really fussy, and then by the time he finally, was passing gas, had a soiled diaper, then he would be happy, and by the afternoon he would sleep and I would be able to get things done. And it was really tough because I would constantly sit and feed him or constantly soothe him, that my body was so achy. And it was funny because I was like, I'm just sitting all day, and I felt like I ran all day. Like my shoulders hurt, my arms hurt, my legs, my knees, my ankles. It was the weirdest thing. Like everything hurt, like I was running and working out all day, but I was just sitting and rocking him. So many people were telling me, like, don't eat dairy, don't eat beef, don't eat eggs. This makes his stomach hurt. So it was really confusing. Like a couple of days I would, for a week not try to eat eggs, and I just felt like he's still crying. And then I avoided dairy. Honestly, I was hoping this baby would be very easy, just because, you have another child to take care of. But this guy was completely different than my first son. The funny thing is, when he was awake, he was such a happy baby. He would look at me, and he started smiling when he was 3 weeks old. It was so sweet. And even now, like, he's such a happy boy when he's awake. But it's like when he starts going to sleep, he starts crying, or when I'm feeding him, he gets really fussy, and I can hear his stomach like making these rumbling noises. It's so sad. I love breastfeeding, and I think it's one of the most privileged thing to do is feed your child, nourish your child. And this time it was actually so frustrating, and I want to say that breastfeeding is hard. It doesn't always come naturally for some people, even for the baby. If you're having a hard time breastfeeding, you need to realize that I've known from the past, and even now, the first 6 weeks is hard, and even first 2 months. I feel like by 3rd month the baby is a lot better, but it does get better if you have frustrating, because it is one of the most beautiful bonding moments for your child. But yeah, there was moments where I was like, maybe I should quit breastfeeding. I feel like my milk is poison, because every time he's eating, I hear his stomach gurgling. He starts screaming and crying, but I know my milk is not poison, and it is the best thing for him. It's just tough what to know, like, is it the food? And someone said, you can try to avoid certain foods, but sometimes it's not food. Sometimes it's just the way they're breathing in too much air, or just doesn't know how to pass gas. And a lot of people say sometimes after 10 weeks, they outgrow it and their stomachs get better. And then everyone's been telling me about going to a chiropractor. So I did finally go to a chiropractor, and he slept really good after, but I still need to do a couple more visits. And I'm actually thinking maybe to do a video on the whole journey of going to a chiropractor and seeing what results happen. So I think I'll do that video. Yeah, I'm just slowly getting a little bit more sleep. He is starting to sleep more every 2 hours at night now. In the day, he's starting to sleep just like an hour nap, and then he'll wake up and he will be up. Sometimes he's awake for like 2 hours. It is crazy. The one sad thing about having a really fussy baby is you want time to go fast. Like, there be moments where I'm like, I just want him to be 3 months now. I just want him to be 6 months. And it's so sad because it's hard to enjoy a baby who's crying so much, and you want them to grow up, but then in a way you're like, you don't want them to grow up because they already grow up so fast. Like, I can't believe how big he is at 7 weeks old, and he's already 12 pounds. It's crazy how much they've grown. So yeah, this is why I'm trying to take a lot of pictures of him, just because then you look back and you see how small he is. I'm so thankful. I've been feeling good. I started taking walks more when he was 5 weeks old. I feel like my body feels a lot better when I started taking walks. All these sore muscles started going away because I've been sitting so much. So taking walks feels a lot better. I pretty much missed the whole summer because he was born on August 11th. So I was inside for like 4 weeks straight. Hardly went outside. Maybe went outside for like 10 minutes in the backyard. If I went to the store, I got someone to watch him, and I went to the store alone really quick. And I honestly do not have a desire to go to the store with him yet, just because it is not fun to go to the store, grocery shop, or anything with a crying baby. It's just not fun. Like, and I feel like personally no one wants to hear a screaming baby when you're in the store. So if you are struggling mama just want to say, take it easy, stay inside. You don't have to do things. Expect first 6 weeks to be tough. Just wanted to be honest with you and raw how I've been going through. It's very unexpectedly, it's been harder than I expected. I thought, you know, with the second kid, you kind of know how to do things, but honestly, every baby is different. That's why you need to realize every pregnancy was different. I felt completely different with my first pregnancy to my second, and this baby is completely different than my first son. So even if you had 5 children or 3 children or 10 children, you need to learn how your baby is, and the baby needs to learn how to feed and get used to you. So yeah, it's definitely not that easy as everybody can display online or anything, but there is easy babies out there. I know there is. Overall, he's a really good baby, and he's such a sweet baby. Like I said, I can't believe he started smiling so early, and I just really think he did because I needed that. But yeah, I just wanted to say I am so blessed to have 2 boys, and I'm just so happy. If you struggled with your first 6 weeks postpartum, share down below so I just know, because I know I'm not alone. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you want to see more mommy videos like this, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye!